Hello there, this is Mr. Clark, and welcome to week 13, day 2 notes. All right, so you guys have done slope. Now we're going to use slope to find some um, attributes of these segments. So, first we're going to find the slope, then we'll talk about what's going on. Let's see. So, here's the tech tip of the day. If you have a mouse with a wheel, you know, you can press Control and then you move that wheel and it gets bigger. So you can see your page larger. Now, here's the problem though. I got to get rid of this and move this over. And now also this gets bigger. There we go. All right, so that's pretty good. Okay, so the first thing is you're going to do 1 and 2 with me, and then you're going to do 3 on your own. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Okay, so let's do number 1. Now you can see there's a graph here, and each of those segments has 2 points. First point is negative 2, 4, right there, and 5, 6, right there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is find the slope of that segment. So let's take a look at the formula. Y2 minus Y1. I already marked it. Y2 is 6. All right, let me get up there. 6. Y1 is 4. Let's see, the bottom says x2 minus x1, right? X2 is 5. There it is. All right, if I can get in there. Nice. 5 minus negative 2. X1 is negative 2. Don't forget your negative. Just because you have minus doesn't mean you don't have to put the other negative. You do. 5 minus negative 2. All right. Very nice. Let me copy and paste. Hopefully it's not this isn't getting in the way. All right, let's see here. A little smaller. Okay. So now we're just going to keep solving. Don't need that. Okay, 6 minus 4 is... Oops. There it is. 6 minus 4 is 2. And... get in there. There it is. 5 minus negative 2, that's the same as 5 plus 2. So you have 5 plus 2 is 7. There we go. Okay, so now we got this loop. You can't reduce it, so that's it. 2 over 7. All right. There's the first one. I can make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so the second one, you have 3, 2. There's 3, 2. And 10, 4 right here. 10, 4, right? That's CD. All right. So again, formula y2 minus y1. So we have y2 is 4. Let me see if I can get in there quickly. Y2 is 4. And y1 is 2. And again, you know, I marked that up there. So it's not as easy as it gets. You look there and you say, oh, that's y1. That's why I mark it, because it's easy for me to make a mistake if I don't mark it. So y2 minus y1, 4 minus 2. And then x2, 10, minus x1 is 3. So 10 minus 3. 10 minus 3. Okay. All right, I'm just copy this, put it back over there, over here. Let's see if I can get this out of the way. Okay, I can still see that. All right, good. So, and now just 4 minus 2. What's 4 minus 2? It is 2. What's 10 minus 3? There we go. 10 minus 3 is 7. All right. So now let's see what you notice about this stuff. Okay, so down here it says, what do you notice about the 2 segments? Okay, the 2 segments here, I don't know if you remember this. You probably do. Those are parallel lines. They look parallel. What do you notice? They look parallel. Good, I spelled it right. Parallel. So they look parallel. All right, well, what do you notice about the 2 slopes? Answer. What do you got? You got 2 over 7, and you got 2 over 7. Answer. They are the same. There you go. That's it. So now you know if the slopes are the same, they're parallel. That's it. So that's pretty easy. If you get the slopes right, You get same slope, you know your lines are parallel. All right. You're either like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. Okay, so that's parallel. All right, let's move on. Now these aren't parallel. That's called something else when they have that kind of an angle. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's find the slopes first. So number one, we're going to do 2, 1, and 5, 6. 2, 1, 5, 6. Good, just make sure I wrote them down right. And again, I marked the x1, y1, the x2, y2. So don't have to think too hard about this. You might have to look up the formula again. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. Y2 is 6. We're doing AB first. Here's AB. Right? Y2 is 6. So 6. Y1 is 1. And then minus 1. And then you have x2 minus x1. That's 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2. All right, let's get in there. 5 minus 2. Okay. All right, we're going to keep it going here. Equals. Equals now. Just get rid of that. Copy this and get rid of the M. Okay. And 6 minus 1 is. I can't get up there quickly. 6 minus 1 is 5. And 5 minus 2 is. So 5 over 3. And you can see, as you saw from the notes last week, it goes up 5. It goes over 3. Okay. All right, so the BC. So here's the points. We have 5, 6, which is same as on the other segment. C is 10, 3. 10, 3. Good. All right, so again, y2 minus y1. So you got 3. And remember, we're doing BC now, right? We're doing this segment. We have 3 minus 6. Okay. Get some negative numbers on this one. 3 minus 6. And we have 3 minus 6 and. All right, so we had 3 minus 6, y2 minus y1. And we're going to have x2 minus x1. 10 minus 5, x2 minus x1. 10 minus 5. Okay. 10 minus 5. There we go. Okay, now we're going to keep going. I'm just going to copy that and paste. Remember the other tech tip? When you copy, I highlight it. I press Control C. And then I go over here and I press Control V. If you don't like it, you press Control Z. It goes back. If you think, oh, I did like it, you press Control Y and it goes back again. So that's just so nice to know because it makes this a lot easier. Okay, so let's do bottom first since the cursor always starts there. 10 minus 5 is 5. No, popped out again. There it is. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. All right. And that's okay like that. But, I like to I'm going to copy this again. Oops, not the whole thing. Copy this again. I'm going to pull that negative out front of that fraction. I just like it better that way. Because it could be, the negative could be on the 3 or the 5. Not both, though. Pulled out front. That's kind of how you usually leave your answer. There you go. Negative 3/5. Okay. So now, what do we notice about these two segments? These segments, they make what kind of angle? Remember? What's it look like? It's kind of like in a square. Looks like it could be a square there, right? Part of a square. That is a right angle. How many degrees? 90 degrees. What's the name for that? We got parallel and perpendicular. So that they look like they're perpendicular. It's all right. They look perpendicular. I spelled that right too. I want to roll today. Okay, so they look perpendicular. Now, what do you notice about the slopes? Now, there's a little different. Up here, the slopes, as you remember, were the same. Parallel is the same. 2 over 7, 2 over 7. If this was 1 over 4, this would be 1 over 4. If this was 6, this would be 6. It would be parallel. Okay. Down here, it's not the same, but something is similar. What looks similar there? Well, you have 5 over 3, and here you have negative 3 over 5. Okay, so here's the deal. One is 5 over 3. You flip it, and then the other one is negative whatever it is flipped. 5 over 3, flip it to 3 over 5, put a negative on it. So on these, or you'd take a negative off. If you went from the bottom up, you'd say, okay, I have negative 3 over 5. I flip it to 5 over 3. I take the negative off, right? So one's negative, one's positive, and it's flipped. That's pretty much how it is. Anytime you see that, the lines are perpendicular. All right, so what do you notice about the two slopes? They are negative reciprocal. So that's what they're negative reciprocals. There we go. That means, I'll put it in here, fraction is flipped and one is negative, one is positive. Okay, that's it. So that's what you're going to see when you see perpendicular slopes. So, for example, if one was 1 over 4, the other one would be flipped 4 over 1 and have a negative. If you had something parallel to the top one, you had 7 over 2 or 2 over 7, flip it, 7 over 2, and put a negative. So it would be negative 7 over 2. Flip it, and then put a negative, or take one off. One's got to be positive, one's got to be negative. Okay, so that's it. So there's the notes. So that's part of your assignment. You got that done? Okay. And now you got number 3. Now I didn't do a graph one here because I didn't want to show you which it was. I want you to find this. So you're going to find the slopes of these. Here's the points. I already put the X1, Y1 up here and stuff for you. And then you plug it in and find the slopes. And then you can answer, are the segments parallel or perpendicular? And how do you know? How you know is going to be they're the same, so they're parallel, or they're negative reciprocals, right? Like that. So they're perpendicular. Okay, good luck. Let me know how it goes. Oops, how do I do that?